and nice to hear you. Victor Papa 2, Echo Tango Echo, Oscar November 8 Echo India. You're 5657. The name is John. Over.
You're 519, 519, okay?
Yeah, thank you very much for the 5 and 9. I wish you a great day, Teddy. Lots of people calling. 73's from Belgium. Over.
Okay, my friend, you take care, and 73. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Teddy.
Yours at the Belgian station. Up 3, please. Up 3, please.
Yeah, okay, up 3.
This whiskey Zulu for Germany and Florida. Calling the Belgium station. I missed the call sign. Are you there, sir?
Yes, I am, and I'm not sure if you checked, but I'm just checking if no one is using it. Over.
I don't hear anybody.
Yeah, no, it sounds good. Anyway, good evening and good day to you from Belgium. Over.
Yeah, sounding good over this way. I haven't heard Europe too much lately. A month or so ago, it was just like clockwork, you know. The bands have changed around. They seem to be coming back in again, so that's great. My name's Don, Denmark, Ontario, Norway, and I'm located just south of Cape Kennedy on the east coast of Florida. And town is Melbourne, like Melbourne, Australia, but Melbourne in the state of Florida. So back to you, sir, and I'll give you a report next go-around. WZ4G, back to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, Roger, and maybe when you come back, you just go a little bit slowly with your call sign, but nice to hear you, Dawn. I believe it's for the first time. 10 over 9 in Belgium, and yeah, it's a cold night in Belgium, Dawn. Over.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, let's get our call signs straightened out here. I didn't get yours either. And my call is Whiskey Zulu, number 4, G as in Germany, Whiskey Zanzibar 4, Guatemala. And what was yours?
Yeah, and I'm just going to QRZ, Don, because I have a feeling that we have spoken, because it's a it's a special sort of call sign that you have. So I'm just typing it in, and here we go, Don. And I'm just we have spoken before, Don. It's Oscar November 8 Echo India, and you have my name. Over.
Okay, good. Yeah, I recognize the call. And I don't have my computer handy today. It's in the other room sleeping. So, yeah, it sounds really good here. Good solid S9 signal. No problem at all. And I don't use a preamp, so that's a very, very fine signal here. No problem. I'm using my vertical antennas mounted on my boat dock. And I think on QRZ page, I think there's a picture of them in there. I'm not sure. That web page sometimes drives me bananas. Make it work. But I think I got it in there. But yeah, we're surrounded by water here, and the 2 verticals out on the boat dock are set to optimize to the northeast. So one vertical is the driven element, and the other is a director. So they're pretty oriented northeast and very broad beam. So you're doing fine on those antennas. So running about a KW here today with my little ICOM 7300 homebrew amplifier with a big old Russian tube in it. That's the GS35. That's what's running there today. ON8 Echo India Whiskey Z4 Golf.
Yeah, Roger on that, Don. Well, your 2 verticals are doing a really good job, and I'm looking at QRZ and looking at the photos. So that looks like a perfect setup. And nothing that any of the neighbors would bother with. Not sure if it's a Hotel Oscar Alpha location that you live in, but I know the way they can be. Yeah, on this side it's on this band I'm just looking. Yeah, it's a Moxon, but the antenna is it's a 10.5 from OptiBeam. It's 10 elements, and as said on this band, it's a Moxon. The antenna is about 14 meters above the ground. Power is probably about 500 watts, and the amplifier is a solid state coming from VK land, and the radio is in Apache the 7000, over.
Yeah, perfect. Excellent. That sounds like some mighty nice equipment. Yeah, the Moxon is probably my favorite antenna, although I don't have one. Here at this location, with all the water around me, I have not needed a beam in a tower anymore. So as you can hear there, just a vertical down there on the water really does a good job. So I do not have a vertical. I do not have a tower at this location. And regarding location-wise, this is a separate house. It's out on a small lot, about 1 acre, stuck out on the end of a little peninsula. So it's like the point. So the end of the peninsula is where we are. And there are no antenna rules in the area. This is a very old house. It was built 1961 build, 1961. And we fixed it up some that we love the location. But, oh man, it would be some of these places with the HOA thing is just terrible. I mean, you can't do anything. And I could not tolerate that. I have my best friend lives in such an environment, and so does my daughter lives in such an environment. But they don't have the ham license, so so back to you there. Perfect copy again. I mentioned the S9, good solid S9 signal, no preamp. Win 8 Echo India Whiskey Z4 Golf.
Yeah, Roger, and I suppose the people that are into amateur radio, in general, they have the the camouflaged antenna, or the other one is the flagpole. Now, just out of curiosity, Teddy down in the Caribbean, what kind of signal were you getting from him? Over.
The signals in the Caribbean are just booming here. I chat with different folks down there quite often, and I just use the dipole, and people with good setups tend to be well over S9 here, like S9 plus 10. So it's a very easy one bounce connection from here, over.
Yeah, and I'm surprised. I'm not sure how long he was on, but I'm surprised I didn't hear many Europeans calling him. So I was happy to get in and get out and just have him in my logbook. You know, when people like that are calling out, there's no time for a chat. It's in general, it's 5-9 and bye-bye, over.
Yeah, that's I try to not do that. I do not like that type of communication. I only play with my radio to talk to people and hear their thoughts and issues from the other side of the world, and that's what I enjoy. But yeah, the old 5x9 7.3 deal is not for me, over.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, well, I'm a rag chewer and have been known to speak to the same person for 2.5 hours or even longer. But yeah, I do like to, if I hear someone of interest and see how my radio and my setup is working, to give them a call, over.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's a good time to do it. Yeah, that's 2.5 hours. Well, I think you win. I don't recall ever chatting up. I've probably gone an hour, a time or two with different people. But, wow, I'm impressed. Yeah, you would definitely win the award on that one, over.
Yeah, Roger, and that particular person was down in VK, over.
Yeah, that's good to stay in that long. Generally, I get VK for an hour or two, and that's about it. I talked to, you may know some of them, from VK 3CWB Moz, and of course I run the EM once in a while, VK 3MO, and some of the other guys around the place there. The fellow on Kangaroo Island out here once in a while, I can't remember the call. But he comes in pretty good when he points in this direction. Do you work VK fairly often, over?
Well, if I tomorrow I have, this week I have the early shift, so I won't be working them. But in general, I can work them every morning, over.
Good. Yeah, that would be short path, I guess, for you, right?
No, the other one, over.
Oh, really? Yeah, I guess that's right. From where you are, that would probably be the other one. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, here in the morning, my morning, that would be a short path. My signal would be going west and down over Hawaii in that area. In the evening, when I chat with them, it's the direction northeast, and that's why I put that antenna out there. Just that's about the only time I get on the air is in the afternoon. Some people do it all day, but I'm just normally jump in a half hour and maybe another half hour later. So I don't put a lot of energy into it. I got a lot of home projects still going, fixing on the house. That takes a lot of time to get all that stuff done. And I've been working on it now for about 5 years, so got a few more to go. 088 Echo India, Whiskey Z4 Golf.
Yeah, and I think when you're living beside the sea, there's always work because of the corrosion, over.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's I was noticing the other day I put a couple of nails or screws into a little device. I mounted it outside on something, and only about 2 years ago, and they were not galvanized. They were just, they were not stainless. They were just galvanized. Typical little outdoor screw. It's really made out of steel, but it's got a coating on it. And it's totally rusted off, just in that length of time, about 2 years. So all of my antenna wires, I have to use coated antenna. I have to buy insulated wire. And when I make the joints, I have to solder them. Then I spray them down with a rubber coating. And I don't have any trouble if I do that. But if you put out bare copper or anything like that, give it a year and it's gone, over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, there's always pluses and minuses. Well, we're a long way from the sea. We're probably about 80 miles from the sea, over.
Yeah, you wouldn't have too much trouble with that then. That's good. Yeah, that's a negative, but on the positive side, you get a nice breeze all the time, and we get that onshore breeze that even in the hottest part of the summer, we get a nice cooling breeze that makes the summer much more bearable. Here, our temperatures hit. Let me get my Celsius chart here and look. I guess we get to maybe as high as 33 or 34. That's about the highest temperature we've recorded here at this location. And I attribute that largely to the water. There's a lot of water. There's parts when you go inland to the center of the state, to the center of Florida, it is not unusual to hear of in severe weather 40. So that can happen. So that's one advantage of living near the East Coast, over.
Yeah, and I'm looking where you are, and I see you have I don't know, would you call that a lagoon or something like that, which kind of protects you, over?
Yeah, we're in a little it's a little isthmus, I guess that's the right word. A little strip of land that sticks out into the bay, and we're right out on the tip end. So we're just a little spot out on the end, and then we're about a mile from the ocean. So we don't have the ocean water directly on us. It used to come through an inlet and down a river, so we don't get much issue with the hurricanes and water height. And the other good thing is we don't get too much. And the salt water, it's not really super salty. It's more, I would say it's like 15 or 20% salt water the last time I tested it. It's salty enough to be a good antenna, but it could certainly be a lot worse. But it works, over.
Yeah, and what's that strip of land? I see a place called Indian Harbor Beach and Satellite Beach. What is that strip of land called, over?
Well, here we refer to it as living on the island, but what it really is, it's just a strip of land, as you see there, that goes north and south. And on one side is the Atlantic Ocean, and on the other side is this river. It's a very, very slow moving river. It's more like a lagoon than a river. but it's about a half a mile wide, and that isolates the mainland from the island land. And we all have, we go back and forth constantly there. We have lots of bridges, so of course we can go back and forth. And I lived over the mainland, or the what we call the island, for a while, but I kind of like it better on this side. Because on the island you get more erosion, you get a lot more difficulty with the metal outside, and this side you still get some, but it's nothing as bad as the folks that live over on the, as we call it, live on the island over.
Yeah, Roger. And what about the airport? Do you get much traffic coming over you, over?
Yeah, we get some. It's I don't even notice it, but the commercials go generally do not go over us. They go to the south of us, but the private aircraft will buzz over us once in a while. Just depends on the wind. Sometimes there's one I think lane that points our direction, but in general it's not bad. And we do hear the missile shots from Cape Kennedy. They shake the house pretty well, and they come sort of our direction. Now, there's about 2 of those each week, about 2 per week, and that's always interesting. It's if we can watch it, we do. We just sit out on our deck, and we can see the missile shots perfectly if the sky is clear. But if it's overcast heavily, we can't see it, but you can certainly hear them over.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, well, that's the way it is. I used to live in London. I'm originally from Ireland, but for 4 years of my life, I lived in London, and for some of that time, I lived on a boat in the northern part of London, and I had a wind generator which used to just top up the batteries. But that was I won't say, yeah, that was kind of similar to where you're living. It's nice and it's peaceful, over?
Yes, I remember. I've talked to an amateur radio operator, or maybe 2, that lived on one of those boats there in England. And is kind of in a canal, I guess, and go back and forth. And he'd just lived on it. And I don't think it was you. I would say it was a year ago when I talked to that person the last time. It might have been you, but I thought it was an Englishman, over.
Yeah, well, the last time I transmitted from that boat would have been about 30 years ago, or a little bit more, and it was mainly on the. I wasn't bothered with the long distance. It was just transmissions around the UK and Ireland, and it was always on the 80-meter band, over.
Roger that. Yes, that was not very long ago when I chatted with that individual, but I think it was about a year, maybe 2 at most. But he lived on the boat. It seemed to be quite an enjoyable life. Well, are you originally from Ireland, over?
Yeah, Roger, originally from Ireland, born in 1964, and we lived in a place called Cork, which is down in the south, over.
Oh, Roger that. Yeah, my triple great-grandfather immigrated from Ireland. His last name was Fleming, Fleming. You probably heard that name around. But he came over in the late 1700s, and I actually found his grave. So I did a bit of research on my legacy there. Part Irish, part Scottish, and a little bit of English thrown in, over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, I'd say your DNA is all mixed up. If you ever did one of those tests, I'm sure that there'd be a lot of locations noted, over.
Yeah, that's what I did. I did one of those tests, and that's how I found it all that interesting. But yeah, that is interesting stuff. But yeah, he came. In the area I was raised and born, in the Appalachian Mountains. You probably have heard of those. It's a mountain range that goes from almost the entire up and down the east coast, not on the coast, but back a ways. It parallels the coast of the U.S. on the east side. Well, yeah, most of the people who were born in that area are of Scotch and Irish descent. So for some reason, the Scots and the Irish took a liking to the mountainous areas, maybe because they came from mountainous areas, don't know. But it's just about where everybody came from. So the whole Appalachian area was Scotch and Irish. So I guess, I don't know. That's a very interesting thing. But you don't find that either. You'll find different places have different lineage. So that's the one I'm from, over.
Yeah, Whiskey Zulu 4 Golf, Oscar November 8 Echo India for ID. What state was that, over?
That state was Kentucky, K-E-N-T-U-C-K-Y, Kentucky, over.
Yeah, Roger. And would I be right in saying, because I have followed, not TV programs, but kind of a guy on YouTube, for example, touring around. Yeah, sometimes in those areas, people wouldn't have so much money, over.
Oh, yeah. Some of that area is very, very poverty-ridden. It's, if you think about it from a point of let's say you're an immigrant and you climb into this area that's very mountainous, very rocky. There's very little flat land, so it's very difficult to make a living. And there were about 100 years they discovered coal, and a lot of people worked in the coal mines. But now the coal mines have gone away, so it's still a very difficult area to make a living in. And a lot of poverty, and just a lot of difficulty. And of course, poverty creates a whole lot of crime, and it's a very difficult area. So it's an interesting place to be from, and I chose, when I was 18 years old, I looked in the rearview mirror of my little car and decided that was not for me. So we went out to civilization, over.
Yeah, Roger. And would I be right in saying, some of the towns and the little villages, there could be a lot of abandoned houses, over?
Oh, yeah, that's certainly true now. And I took a ride through there about 2 years ago with my cousin, and through some of the back areas, and it was pretty discouraging. Maybe a better word would be depressing. It was depressing. Now, I think our signal's dropping off here, so we might have to cut it short. Let me go back and see if we're still talking, over.
Yeah, well, you're 10 over with me, but who knows the reason. But anyway, always, this is our second contact, but great speaking with you, Dawn, over.
Yeah, this somehow we're getting, there's a strange technical thing called non-reciprocal communications, and sometimes it does that. I have noticed it occasionally. Most of the time it's about even both ways, but sometimes it'll fade one way and not fade the other way, so maybe that's what's happening. But yes, if you hear me on again, please give a shout, and I assume maybe you picked that call to have the EI on it, so that was cool. So that's a good call. Back to you, ONAEI WZ4G.
Yeah, Roger. Well, when I came to Belgium first, I had Oscar November 9 Charlie Juliet Delta, but I didn't have a Belgian passport. I just had my my Irish passport. But over time, I changed passports just for various reasons. And when you have a Belgian passport, you can get a real deal Belgian call sign. And the beauty here, like in the States, if a vanity call sign is available, you can take it, over.
Yeah, that's what I did too. Mine was kind of long, so I shopped around and managed to get a shorter one. So I've been licensed for 63 years. So when I got mine, it was a very long call, WA4JDE. So it's quite a mouthful. So I was glad to get a shorter one. Well, I'll say 7-3s to you, and it's been great chatting with you again. And you're sounding great. The audio sounds good. You got everything working really nicely there. Good sounding signal. And the audio comes through very well, too. So I did enjoy chatting with you, and hopefully we can do it again. And I'm going to sign off here and help the XYL. We're getting ready here to feed the puppies here just in a little bit. So it's time for Don to go be an assistant. So back to you for anything else there. ONETE WZ4G.
Yeah, Roger on that, Don. Well, great speaking with you. We could have gone for my record, but we won't this time. Anyway, have a nice day. You've got another, I don't know how much of daylight left, and greetings to the lady of the house and all the four-legged friends. So till the next time, Don, great speaking with you. And 73's from Belgium. Whiskey Zulu 4 Golf, Oscar November 8 Echo India. Bye-bye from Belgium, Don, over.
Okay, and best regards to you. Hope everything goes well for you, and stay healthy and keep warm. This is the time of year to keep warm. I've enjoyed running into you again. The pleasure's all mine. 7-3s, ONETE WZ4G, off and clear, and QRT. So if you want the frequency, it's all yours.
Yeah, thank you, Don. If anyone calls me, I'll go back to them. But anyway, all the best. Bye-bye. ONETE, Don. Bye-bye.
7-3.